people create content before they know what their offer is. And that's why content creation becomes really hard, because you have no sense of direction. I want to use an analogy here. Let's say this is your starting point and you're driving towards a destination. So the first thing that you do, hopefully this is what you do, you get the address for the destination and you plug that in. And once you do that, it asks you for the location that you are starting. Sometimes you can either use your map, turn on your map so that it can identify exactly where you're starting, or you can give it a starting point. Then you get to decide how you're going to get to the destination. Are you going to walk? Are you going to drive? Are you going to fly? Are you going to ride your bike? And this is determined by how fast you want to get to your destination, how much money you have. Those are the two things, time or money, or both. So if you want to get to your destination faster, then you have to spend money. And I'm going somewhere with this, just hang in tight. If you do not have money, but you have time, you can decide to walk there or ride your bike, depending on how far it is. So it's the same thing with content creation. You cannot start creating content before you know the destination, and the destination is your offer. How you choose to get there is up to you. Do you have time? If you have time, you can go on YouTube, you can consume content like this. This is free content. You can spend a few hours and listen to it, but hopefully then you're going to put in action. And I really want you to put all the action that is required to get the results that you will get if you choose to put this to action. One of the things that I've realized is that when you get free stuff, people tend not to do anything with it. But I want you to get results with the information that I'll be sharing with you today, because this is the same kind of framework and information that I use to be able to charge clients $1,500 to $2,500 to build them a system that is making them money. I've worked in a 7-figure coaching company. I have refined this process over and over and over again. I'm part of masterclasses and masterminds that have helped me just create this system for myself, for my business here at Vine Studio, but for other clients. So just pay attention. So what we're going to do is, I want you to imagine that you've written a check of $1,500 and you're sending it to me. I want you to imagine that so that you can be able to know that you gave something to receive something, because I want you to take action. So again, people start with content, and that's why content sometimes is complicated, or it feels overwhelming. And people often start with, and we'll go through this whole list in order. Content is the last thing that you need to be thinking of in the whole process that I'll be sharing with you. You do not start making content before all these things are in place. Otherwise, you will feel lost and you will give up. I'll give you a scenario of what people do most of the time. People have a skill and all of a sudden they go to cloud or ChatGPT, and it helps them create a digital product, be it a book, a PDF. Then after that, they use another AI platform. Let's call it Lovable or Base 44, and they build a website. But then they get stuck because this is just a beautiful website that cannot do anything for them. They don't know how to connect the domain, so it still has your name, then at the end, Base 44. So everybody knows that you've made the website with Base 44, and they get stuck. And so they keep building, but they're not shipping anything because whatever they're building is not even shippable, or they do not know how to even ship it. And so now they start saying, now I need to make content to be able to sell this thing. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but this kind of content, trying to sell this, does not get you any money, because people do not buy products, people do not buy information. Information is readily available out there. If I wanted to learn any single skill in the world, I just need to tell Cloud to create a course for me and teach me whatever skill that I want to learn in the span of like 14 days. And I'll be able to learn whatever I am interested in learning. So you cannot sell me that. So I want you to understand that people do not buy this. People buy the destination. How is this product going to transform my life after I buy into your program? I'm not interested in your frameworks. I'm not interested in what the processes that you take. All I need to know before I buy from you is that, how will I be a different person? And so we are going to start. I hope now you understand where we're going. You have the roadmap, the destination. We first start with the offer and we work backwards. Then we'll know what kind of content we need to create. We understand the audience that we need to create the content for. We understand the language that we need to use to create the content. We understand the pain that they're experiencing right now. So again, we always lead with empathy before authority, and we will share a lot more as we continue to go. So, all right, let's start. Let me tell you where I start. So the first thing I do, especially for my clients, I start with brand strategy. That is where I want to start. And I will share some information if you want to do brand strategy with me. That's something that I can offer. But for now, I'm going to show you something super simple that's going to help you a lot. I want you to ask yourself one question. I want you to imagine that I just deposited $100,000 into your bank account. All right? $100,000 into your bank account. All right? It's already in your account. It's already there. So now the second thing I want you to do is I want you to give a TED Talk, 30 minutes, all right? What will you talk about? And then number 2, describe the crowd that's listening to you, all right? That's exercise number 1. I want you to, you're already paid. The only thing, number 3, is that you cannot do any research. 100K is in your account. You're gonna give a TED Talk for 30 minutes. I want you to describe the topic, what conversation will you be having, and describe the people who are in the audience that you're speaking to. And the caveat is you cannot do any research. All right? Hope you see where we're going with this. I want you to solve a painful problem here. I want you to solve a painful problem that you're an expert in. So some of you, this will come instant because these are conversations that super excite you. So what we'll need to do is find a painful problem that you can solve based on the conversation that you enjoy having the most. So we're gonna take it a layer deeper for those who might be struggling with this exercise so far. I learned this from a book called Your Reason for Being, right? So we have 4 circles. We have 4 circles. And the intersection of these 4 circles, this is your moat. This is your why, your reason for being. So the 4 circles here, it's something that you love. Then this is something you're good at. This circle is something that you're good at. This is something that you have either been paid for or other people have paid for such services. And the last one is this thing, the world needs it. So what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. So I have an exercise. I'll have a free digital listing everything with the frameworks and everything that you get for free. But remember, it's not for free. You pay $10,000 for it. No, we said $1,500. You paid $1,500 for it. And so this is, I'm giving it to you. So check the description below. What you will get with this is I have a very long prompt that I'll give you access, and it will ask you questions pertaining to this. So the goal with this is that you want to find something that you love, that you're good at, that you've been paid for before, or you will get paid for that kind of work, and also the world needs it. The reason why you want something that is in the middle of all this, there is a high chance, because let me tell you something here. I was talking to someone the other day. The reason why you want to do this is because of this very curve. There's something called informed pessimism. And this is where we all start. You have a new idea, you're like, okay, I'm gonna create a digital product, or I'm gonna start a business. And at that point, you're just, uninformed optimism. You're optimistic about the idea, but you do not have enough information. And then as you continue to go, something happens. You get more information, and then all of a sudden, you start turning to be a pessimist. You realize this is actually harder than I thought. And so most people quit here. And they quit here, and they go back. And they find something else, and they go back to, the thing is, once you quit and you start again from scratch, an informed pessimist, then you learn more information, you become an informed optimist, then you learn more, get more information, you become an informed pessimist. And then you quit, you go back again. So you're always starting from scratch again. The reason why you want to do all this, because sometimes you will need passion to carry you through the hard days. Sometimes you will need something that you enjoy and you're good at it, because there's a chance that you're going to continue to work hard and figure it out. You want something that you can pay for, because as you continue this journey, at least you have some fruit. You're bearing some fruit. You're getting some payment. People are buying here. Maybe they're not buying as much as you want, but there are signals that's like, hey, you're on the right track. Yeah? And you're solving a need because you're getting testimonials. You're solving real problems. So this is very important because without this journey, you'll always start and stop. And then you get to this place called despair, valley of despair. And this is where most people who decide to keep pushing are like, oh my goodness, I can't keep going. This is hard. But at the same time, they have spent so many years and so much, they've invested a lot of money that they're like, I cannot quit. And for those who do not quit, they arrive to this other side where it is informed optimism. And informed optimism, you learn more information, you get to informed pessimism. Then after that, you push through, you get to the valley of despair. And if you don't give up there, you get to this other side where you have information and you're optimistic because things are working. That is the curve. And it always works like that. Of course, we have one hit business models that you just start and it just takes off. But for most businesses, this is what we are dealing with. And that's why this is very important. This is a very important exercise. So I'll leave a detailed prompt that will guide you and it will ask you very specific questions for each quadrant. And at the end of it, it will show you multiple problems that you can solve based on these 4 triangles, based on things that you love, that you're passionate about, that you're good at, that you can be paid for, and that the world needs. It has to be a combination of that. And if it's not a combination of that, you are going to feel like there's something missing, one, and there's a high chance that you're going to give up. This triangle is very good. If you love something and you're good at it, but you're not getting paid for because the world doesn't need it, you will give up. It's a hobby. This is a hobby that does not pay you. If you're good at something and you're being paid for it, but you do not love it, and maybe the world needs it because that's why you're getting paid for it, this is a job, okay? Or we think a job is somebody hiring you. You can hire yourself, and that is a job too. Because if I'm not in this studio and I've not trained someone else to help me with the operation of this studio is a job for me. Yes, I'm a business owner, but I am hired by my job. All right. Then the other part is you get paid for it. The world needs it. That's a vocation. And don't worry if you can't see the handwriting. I have a template with everything that you're going to learn today. Then lastly, there are people who love what they do and the world needs it. These are missionaries, okay? You cannot get rich with this, okay? And if you're not good at it, you'll always panic because you feel like there's somebody else will take your position because they're good at it. So that's why it's important to have all this. If you're in a job and the world needs it and you don't love it and you're not good at it, you're always on panic mode. And this is what AI has done to people's jobs. Your job was so routine that AI is so good that it's coming and it's taking that job, even if you loved it. All right, let's move to the second stage. After we identify your painful problem, the next stage is to build an irresistible offer. There is a formula for creating an irresistible offer. So we're gonna go through that. I learned this from Alex Hamosi. But I want to read a verse for you guys because this is amazing. Let me read this because I saw this in the book of Matthew. You guys think that the Bible doesn't have marketing content. I will shock you here. Matthew 11 verse 28. So what does the Bible say? Who knows the verse? Come to me, all ye who are heavily laden, and I will give you rest. Let me not butcher that verse. Let me open it. So Matthew 11:28. Let me put it. Yep. It says, come to me, all who labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. Take my yoke upon you and I will give you. You're probably thinking, Francis, what does this verse have to do with an irresistible offer? I love the Bible so much because if you read it from the lens of whatever you're trying to get something from, you are going to learn something from it. So before I share this verse, I want you to know that we have 3 brains. So the first brain is more than 2,000 years old and it's called the reptilian brain. This is the brain that scans. It doesn't even read, it just feels and it scans real quick. Is this something that is safe or is this a threat? So if it's safe, I lean in. If it's a threat, I run away. It happens subconsciously, and so the brain just shuts down. If something doesn't feel safe, the brain shuts down. That's where you lose trust even before you open your mouth. So why am I saying this? Your brand pictures on your landing page, they do matter. The negative space around your hero text, it does matter. If there's clutter on your page, it does matter, because somebody is evaluating quickly, is this welcoming or not? Websites that convert the most are very minimalist, they are very clean, they have a really good design, and they have really good pictures. So that's number one. And here we say, come to me. When you hear that, it's welcoming, it's non-threatening. Then number two, the second brain is the limbic. This is where emotions are. So to tap to the emotional part of the brain, you can't give it logic. Let me do that. Brain is the neocortex. Most people in their content speak to this brain. This is the last brain that you need to talk to. And Jesus knew that. So the first time, this for the reptilian brain, no threat. There's no threat in this statement. Then we speak to the emotional brain, all who labor and heavy laden. He's not even told you what he's going to do. He's first pointing the painful need or the painful experience that the person that he's talking to is experiencing. And that's how your offers need to be structured. It should lead with pain, because people are more motivated by pain than they are motivated by their dreams. People will run faster away from their pain than they would run faster to their dreams. And the analogy that I like is, I want you to imagine you have cat, C-A-T, over here. You have cheese on this side, and you have a rat or a mice over here. I want you to tell me, do you think this will run faster to this compared to it running faster from this? Of course, it doesn't want to die. So people don't want pain. People will run away from pain faster than they will run towards their dreams. That's why free things, people don't do anything with them. That's why I was telling you guys, you need to write me a check, because you might not do anything with this content. And I'll spend years and my resources and my time and my energy to learn the things that I'm teaching you today. So please pay attention. This is going to transform the way you make content. It's going to transform the way you sell your offers. It's going to transform a lot of things. Now we know the three brains. So here Jesus is like, hey, I know who I'm talking to and I know what pain they're experiencing. Then we're still in the emotional part of the brain, and we've not even gone on the tactics yet of how we're going to get this person there. We're just preparing our journey. We are just preparing everything. Yeah? All right. Before we speak to the third brain, there's something else that we need to talk about that Jesus clearly articulates here. He says, and I will give you rest. This is the promise. Here we have the pain and we have the avatar. So come to me, reptilian brain. Hey, this is safe. Come. All who labor and heavy laden. Hey, that's the pain. They're overwhelmed. They are stressed. They feel like giving up. And it's, who am I speaking to? People who are laboring and who are heavily laden. So they will quickly self-identify themselves and then immediately give them a promise. The promise is, I personally will give you rest. So if you go back to the beginning of this video, I actually called you out without knowing. I started with a painful thing and I called the avatar who's actually listening to this video. And my promise is, I'm gonna make content creation easy for you. And now, right now, what I am doing, I'm now talking about the neurocortex parts of the brain. This is where the tactics are. And this is where Jesus is like, take my yoke, take my processes, take my frameworks, and this is what is going to give you rest. So this framework that I'm going to send to you and give you, because you paid me $1,500, is a strategy framework. But I did not start with this. I started with a painful experience that you're having right now with creating content. I called you out. So that is how you structure an irresistible offer. If you need more help in structuring that, I'll leave some information below and we can talk and I can help you with that. All right. So let's go to the next thing. This now is the landing page. Again, there's a structure for curating a landing page. So we're gonna work on that right now. I'm gonna give you a structure on how to craft it. but in my school community, I already have a prompt. All you have to do is answer this question, painful problem, and the irresistible offer, and you run it through the prompt, and it's gonna redesign your landing page. It's as simple as that. Now with AI, you can train it with your processes, and you remember this when we're talking about how fast you wanna go? You can either walk, drive, fly, or ride your bike. With prompts, you get to fly and get to your destination faster, all right? But I'm gonna just quickly share what should be included in your landing page. And this takes this. This is my formula for building a landing page. So I'll actually stay here. So a little bit. So we have, again, the reptilian brain. Is it safe? Limbic brain, start with emotions, and then the neurocortex, that the tactics and all that stuff. So these are the requirements for your landing page. Number one, you need a hero section. That's the first thing. What is the pain? Call out the avatar. There needs to be a promise, and needs to be very easy to do it, or without something that is currently overwhelming them. So that's your hero section. Next thing I recommend is either a hero image that's pointing on the call to action, CTA. You want to direct if your hero section is over here, so let me do it here. So let's say that's your landing page. If your hero title is somewhere there, and then you have your call to action here, and or structure-wise, so let's put it over there. Then your image should be here, and it should be pointing, or you should be looking in your eyes. You're looking at the call to action. I hope that makes sense. So if this is the CTA, then you're here and your eyes are looking here. So when I do brand shoots, and that's why when you do brand shoots, it's so important to be able to either give your photographer direction and let them know where these pictures are going to. So if they're going to a landing page, you want to point. It doesn't make sense when you're taking the pictures, but it does later. You're either pointing or you're pointing up, because you can also put your image here and you're pointing up. So you want to guide, people scan. I want you to remember that. People don't read, people scan a page. And so having an image just like this, you will be shocked how a page converts. Sometimes even the color of the CTA matters. The font that you use matters, because people they do this thing called split testing, where you have different landing pages and you try and see which one is converting the most. So when you're doing your brand shoots, make sure, if they're going to a website, make sure you ask these questions, or you direct your photographer to be able to do that for you. So that's the call to action. Underneath here, you can have credentials of things that you have done in support of this hero page or hero text. Then after that, down here, again, remember, we are talking to this brain. We want to make this page feel safe and unthreatening so that they can stay in there. Your landing page should be your sales machine. Your landing page should be your sales representative. It should do the heavy lifting and guide people towards taking an action. It should not have multiple things. It should have one clear thing that is answered. You can upsell on the back end, but it should be super tailored, one problem, one solution. And the solution is for them to click the call to action so that they can get something on the other end. All right. So other things that need to be on this call to action is, before you get even to the tactics and the frameworks and all that stuff, is if it's possible, I want you to give me testimonials. I want you to flood people with testimonials. If you do not have testimonials, this is where I encourage people to do some free services in exchange for a testimonial. If you get a video testimonial, the better. If you get on a Zoom call with them and ask them strategic questions, which I will share in that document that you're going to receive today, you can ask them those questions and you can put those videos and get their permission to be able to list those videos there. So I want you to flood them with testimonials, flood them with case studies. And again, if you do not have them, I think it's important for you to offer your services to somebody for free in exchange of testimonials. That will do two things. One, it will give you credibility. Number two, it will give you feedback, because sometimes we don't know, we create the offer for ourselves based on our knowledge instead of creating the offer for our customer. And so they will tell you what needs to be included in that offer. They will tell you how they want to consume that offer. And so you can make your adjustments before you push it to if you're having a hard time with the information that I'm giving you right now, then you should not be selling anything. And I'm going to say that again, because most of us are selling stuff that we would not even buy ourselves. And that's not being a good steward. That's not being a good steward of your gift. You want to make sure that whatever you're pushing out there, it's something that people need. You're answering a painful problem in your community. Those are some of the best products out there. And if you're not using the product that you're trying to sell, then you should not sell it. So you should not have a problem with offering your services in exchange for a testimonial. That is super important. Basically, if you go to Amazon, and I always use this as an example all the time. If you go on Amazon and you find a product that you like, the next thing that you do is you go to the comment section, the review section, to be able to borrow a stranger's trust. That is what stands between making the decision to buy with your card, a stranger's trust. So that's why testimonials are important, because it's a validation of, I have used his product and his product is legit and it actually works. All right, so we want to put some testimonials. After somebody gets testimonials and they're like, oh, I know the product, I need the product, people have used it and they have they're giving testimonials, some people will hesitate to buy. This is where you start handling objections. And there are 6 objections. I'm not going to make this video too long, but there are 6 core objections that you need to handle in your landing page. Again, this is not just you just write your hero, your section, your credentials, your framework, your 1, 2, 3 things that you're going to get, and then your FAQs, and then you just, no. This is a sales rep that is working 24/7 on your behalf. So we want to handle the 6 objections that your ideal customer might have. Most of the time, they are the same. We have one on price, either it's too expensive, and there is language to use for that. Either they need to talk to their spouse before they make a big decision like this. Either they do not have the time to be able to do this. Either this is overwhelming and they don't think they can be able to do it. Either they do not trust you, and I'm forgetting the last one. But these 4 come up all the time. It's overwhelming. I don't know if I can be able to do it. I'm not tech savvy. Other one is tech savvy. I'm not tech savvy. I need to talk to my spouse. I do not have the time. It is too expensive. Let me think about it. And every objection is not an objection. There's always something underlying that objection, and you need to solve it before they even use that as an excuse. You want to take the leverage that they have before they use that in your content. These objections are part of the content that you should be making, because this is evergreen content that should be living either on your Instagram, on your YouTube, and you're consistently helping them overcome the objections that they have in their head, because that is what's stopping them from making the decision. Most of you, people have already decided that they want your product. The thing that is stopping them is the objections that they have right now. Either you're too expensive, your program is expensive, they don't have the time, they're working a 9 to 5, and they do not think they have enough time to be able to implement all these things. And so you need to have a game plan for all those things. All right, so you handle your objections. Then the next thing, we've not even got to that brain. We've not even talked about your framework and what they're going to get inside the program. We start giving them a new belief systems. Again, there is over 70 belief systems, and you just need to find the ones that your avatar is experiencing. Again, I will share that in the document below, and you'll be able to figure out after you do your market research, what kind of beliefs do my customers have? Because again, this is content. This is how you create content. You give them new belief systems. You handle the objections. You're sharing testimonials. Again, there are 2 different people on the social media space. There are people who want virality and they want to get more likes and they want to grow their pages, which is good because you get visibility. But if you're using social media for content creation or for you to run your business, then that is completely different. You might not go viral, but you're after customers. You're after transforming people's lives. So you actually, in a business, you actually don't even want to go viral. You don't want to attract the wrong people on your ecosystem. You want the right people in your funnel because you're in generating profits. You're not here for virality. If you create a post and you go viral, good. You talk about a broad topic and more people see your post, that's actually great. But that's not your motive. Your motive is like, I'm here to get customers. And your customers, not everyone. They're very specific. And the more specific you are, the better it is for you to be able to use the language that they use to describe their pain. and also offer solutions for them. So you want to handle all that. Then you can come to your framework, signature framework. This is a 5 steps, 7 steps. You don't want to go more than that. 3 steps, 4 steps are the most common ones. You don't want to go more than that. So it's a framework. A signature framework, and we call it signature because it needs to have a very special name. So I have one of my frameworks is the Matthew 11 framework. Most people know Matthew 11, but they do not know what Matthew 11 framework is until I've explained it to you. I have the Exodus 6 framework. Again, people know Exodus 6, but they do not know what that framework is. Yeah? So you want to find a name that most people know, but then when you combine it into a framework, they don't really know what it means. That's what a signature framework is. All right, so there you go in your framework. Then your FAQs are so important, and this should handle a lot of the questions that they have. Any question that they may have, anything that would stop them from making that decision, you want to answer that. Because you don't want somebody who's interested in your offer leaving because there was one question that they had and could not be answered. Something that I also like to do is I will put at the bottom right, I'll put a chatbot. And this chatbot is connected to my back end. So if somebody has a question, I want them to ask me directly there so that I can answer them so that they can be able to make that informed decision. Okay. That is how you craft your your sales rep or landing page. So again, I have a tech stack. I have an all-in-one marketing platform that I use that has been working for me. I love it because you can automate a lot of the things. Because when somebody clicks this call to action, it should send them an email, it should send them the offer, it should add them into your list, it should start sending market campaigns. If this is a free offer that they're getting, it should nurture them and either upsell them on the back end, depending on how you craft the landing page. So again, I teach this in the community Passion to Profit. So again, I'll leave a link there if you want to see the platform and be able to even test it before you buy it. That's something that we can do. You just need to send me an email. I'll put my email below. Just comment and say, hey, I just want to try out the all-in-one marketing platform, and I will give you a 14-day trial to be able to test it out and see how it works. All right. So that's the landing page. Then we move to the last part. This is content. So now we know the painful problem. We have an offer. We have the tech stack. We have the landing page already in place. Now we can create content. And now our content, I'll show you something here. Now it's easy to make content when you know who you're talking to, the language that they use, where they live, how much they make, because that affects your pricing. How painful is this problem? And you can now start offering solutions. And so the goal with content, your only goal with content is to do this thing. This is the current situation and the ideal state. Your goal with content is to widen this gap as much as you can. Please don't forget that. Your goal for every single content is to widen this gap as much as you can. And what that happens is it builds something called desire. And this is the last thing before somebody buys from you. Desire, there's no desire without trust. When you desire something so bad, that specific piece of shoe, at that moment, you've already trusted the person who is even selling that shoe. The desire is so much that you don't even care who is selling it. You just want it. The way you create desire in your customer's mind is by widening the gap between their current state and their ideal. Their current state, you need to do some market research. This is where brand strategy comes in. This is something that I do for my clients. If you want to book a brand strategy call, I will leave a link below and we can do that. But to help you with this, you can do market research using Perplexity, Reddit, LinkedIn. Where else do I ask the public? These are just sites that even Google Trends. These are places that I go to research these painful problems. Oh, and YouTube comments. I'll go find a video that is in relation to the painful problem that I'm trying to solve, and I'll go to the YouTube comments, and I will see the language that they're using to describe the pain that video has solved for them. So these are places, you don't want to use your words, you want to use the words that they're using to describe their pain. What that does is, I love this analogy. I want you to imagine that your avatar is here and you are here. You have a ladder I don't want to take credit for this. This is an analogy by Brene Brown. So most of us up here and we are telling them, hey, come up. I have this product you can buy that will get you out. The problem is you don't know if this person is in chains. You don't know if this person is crippled. You don't know if this person is blind. They can't be able to see. You have no idea what they're going through. And so if you want to sell effectively, you will literally have to take your own stairs that you're promising. And that's why I was saying, don't sell something that you will not use. If I knew that this ladder has no ability to get me out, I am not going to take it down. You understand? I'm not going to take the stairs down to go reach to someone that I know that I cannot take the same stairs up. So you can't promise somebody something that you don't even believe in. It shows in your content. Your lack of confidence in your product will show in your content. It will show even when you're in your webinars. It will show in everything that you're doing. Your lack of confidence in your own product will show. People can smell that. And so it's important to sell the thing that you're already using and it's giving you results. I'm showing you this because this is what I do for all my clients. All my clients go through this entire process that I am showing you. It's much more in detail, but I walk them through this. Before we start making content, we walk through exactly this conversation we're having. This is the same exact conversation that I have with my clients. Then I go to work. So you need to make sure that you lead with empathy before authority. You telling me, oh, I'm a CPA, I'm a doctor, I have worked with so and so, and that doesn't matter if you do not understand my pain. You lead with empathy, then authority. You need both. Because if you lead with empathy and you understand my pain, but then you do not have credibility, I'm not going to trust you. I'm not going to take the ladder. I might get up because I'm feeling like, oh, you see me. But if I see you're still stuck here and you're not able to take the same ladder that you were promising me that you can take, then I don't believe you. Your authority is your ladder, it's your framework, it's your processes. You can show other people that you have gotten them out of this hole. If you don't, that's why I was telling you the first thing that you should do right now, if you have a product that you're thinking of launching, is to test it out and collect testimonials and refine it before you put it out there. And again, if you're struggling to do that, then you should probably not sell it. I'm sorry to say that, but you should probably not sell it. All right, where were we? All right, so content creation. We talked about desire because that's the last thing that people need before they buy. Again, we talked about the 3 brains. People buy with emotions and then they justify with logic. So logic always comes last, not first. You start with emotion. You speak to that brain first. But before you speak to that brain, it needs to feel safe. Everything that you do needs to feel safe. How does it feel safe? You're confident about what you're selling because you're already using it and you have used it on other people and you have gotten results for them. All right. There are 6 evergreen content that I recommend to all my clients. So that will be the last thing that we'll talk about. The kind of content that you should be making. Again, this is if you're using your social media as a lead gen or you're using your social media to run your business. If it's for virality and you want to be famous and be known and have many followers and have many likes on, that's fine. This is not your video. This is for all the business owners who are wanting to use their social media as a lead gen or lead acquisition system. So there are 6 videos that you need to be making. The first video that you should make, I call them evergreen videos. These never get old. There are 6 of them. I used to teach 4, but now I've included a few more. There are 6 videos, but in each video you can have multiple variations of the same content. You can actually cycle the same 6 videos in different variations, but they are always 6. So I have a rule. So there is that 6, then there is 6, what are they called? 6 objections, 6 evergreen. A part of this 6 comes from this. So let's first talk about the 6 evergreen videos. Number 1, again, don't worry about taking notes or anything like that. I'll have a document with everything that we talked about today. All right, evergreen. Number 1, your original story. This is a map that you take your audience through from where they currently are, which is where you used to be, to where they want to be, which is where you are today. That's essentially what your original story is. So along the way, you are able to overcome some mindsets. You're able to adapt new belief system. You're able to make decisions like buying into coaching, going for conferences, doing masterminds, You had to pay. But what kind of mindset did you have to take for you to be able to pay into some of this program? Because that's the same mindset that unconsciously that now you're teaching them the power of buying, the power of spending their money on something that they believe that will get them the results. So you talk about your journey. You talk about the courses that you bought. You talk about even the courses that you bought that did not do anything for you. And you're trying to differentiate yourself at the moment. So you teach them, you start teaching your clients how to buy in your original story. Because you bought something. The reason why you're teaching, hopefully, is because you paid to be in school. You paid to get that certification. You made that risky choice, and it's paying off now that you can help other people. So you start teaching them that. You teach them in your content by sharing your own story. You talk about the hard days, the days that they almost gave up, because that's where they're going. That's where they are right now. You talk about the pain that you experienced for inaction, for procrastinating, the books you read, the people you followed, the spaces that you got into, the mindset that you started embracing, the belief system that you let go of so that you can be where you're promising to take them, and how overcoming all this, how it has transformed your life, how it has changed your life, how it has given you, because they're after the freedom that they see you experience. Hopefully, you're living the life that you're teaching people that they can live. They see the flexibility. They see how you can now more intentional and spending more time. They see the confidence that you have. They see all this. That's what they're buying. They're actually buying. They're not buying your program. They're buying what your program will do for them. And so that's why we're talking about in content. You want to talk a lot about this. The symptoms they're currently experiencing. This should be 80, I would say 60%. Their dream should be 40%. You want to talk a lot more. Even when you create that content, you don't start with the offer, what they will get, or where they're trying to go, or what their dream is. You start with their painful situation. They should read your content and be like, oh, that's me. So this thing of 5 things you can do, that you remember the brain? You remember the brain? When you see somebody say 5 things that you can do to do this. I used to make that content. That's neurocortex brain. That's too soon. You talk about this later in the content. You start here, safe. So safe if you're on a bureau, and there's so many things that I can even just teach here, is when you're talking, you lean forward. You're welcoming. This, if I like, and then I spoke like this and I maintain eye contact, which one feels more welcoming? This or this? Look at my hands. Look at using my hands. You can see my whole, I'm not hiding anything. You can see every part of me. Another one that I've seen work really well is not looking straight on the camera, looking like you're talking to someone else. They get this illusion of like talking to them or you're talking to someone which represents them, and they have a totally different experience because our brains love to open a curiosity gap because they can't see the person that you're talking to and they want to see them, but since they can't see them, they're going to pay attention to what you're saying to them. Very small things that they matter a lot, all right? And then again, people buy with emotions and then they justify with logic. Logic comes at the end, the processes. We talked about Matthew 11, take my yoke upon you and I will give you rest. This is telling you what to do. That's where your frameworks come, that's where your steps come. But before that, it was like to me, identified their pain, the avatar, gives them the promise, then the mechanics of it all. All right, so let's finish this. I hope this is valuable. I hope this makes content creation easy. Again, there will be a link below. You can be able to access everything that we talked about today. So content number 1 is the original story. All right, there is a framework that will be there. There are questions that you can use to answer and come up with the original story. Something else that you also need is something called a story bank. Story bank is where you put all the stories that you remember or that you experience on a daily basis so that you can always, because people remember things through stories and illustrations. So you want to make sure that you're collecting, you have a bank of stories. You have a collection of stories that you can always refer, especially with email marketing. That's really good. And content. If you can tell as many stories as possible, that's really good. So you want a story bank where you're collecting all your stories. Again, you'll have all the information in the link below. So that's content number 1. Content number 2, we're still talking about the evergreen content. Here you talk about your signature right? This is your 7 steps process. And if in each step you have another framework, you do the same. So as you have said, I have 4. But under each, we have different categories, and you'll see that in the documentation that you will get. In 8, I have different things that I can talk about. This is a all-in-one. This video, I'm combining everything. In the next videos, I'll start isolating each content and create content on each. So there are multiple frameworks inside a framework. Yeah? So that's the second evergreen. And this one, that's what I was telling you, like each evergreen content, you can have multiple other evergreen content. Your frameworks always standardized, they stay the same. Yeah? All right. So number 3, this is where we bring testimonials. You want to do it in a podcast style, and inside the testimonial, again, you can have as many testimonials because hopefully you're going to help a lot more people. And the way to get testimonials, give them discounts, do for free, give them incentives, give them whatever you want to give them so that they can allow you to either do a testimonial. The best testimonials is a live podcast where they sit here and you ask them. One of the most important questions that you should ask in that testimonial is what made them reach out to you and what was going on currently in their life before they reached out to you. And once they tell you, you want to make sure and you handle some of the objections that they had. You want to discuss about that, any fears, any concerns that they had, because that is content for you to make. That is also content that you can post when they're sharing how they overcome the objections and the fears that they had. Then you want them to talk about their experience once they got inside the program, how it was day 1, day 2, up until the end. And then at the end, you want to figure out how their life has changed. This is something that you should be reviewing and collecting information as you continue to go with you coaching them. You're constantly collecting this information and feedback. So that is testimony. Number 4, case study. You want to pick 2 or 3 success stories and you track them from beginning to end. So the moment they come into the program, you have already identified that this is somebody that is super motivated, super energized, super excited, doing all the homework, doing everything that you're asking them to do. You want to track their journey. And this works well with Zoom. So during your catch-ups, you want to record those videos because they are super important. And then at the end, again, get their testimonial. But this is a case study that you can put it on your YouTube channel, on your landing page where people can click and be able to track the journey they can see the transformation, all right? Then number 5, this one you can do as many as you can. It's labor intensive, but it's super important, all right? Number 5, we have the 6 objections. You want to handle all those objections. And number 6, belief and mindsets. So they have, when your client is coming or your customer is coming, the thing that's stopping them from buying from you is sometimes not even your program. It's the mindset that they currently hold about their life and their experiences and where they are currently. And so what you want to do is first identify those belief systems, call them out, and then give them new belief systems. Once you install a new belief system, somebody is able to take action. You can give me all the information in the world that I need, and I can be able to be like, oh, I need this, I know I need this, but I'll be stuck if I'm still holding to a belief system that is not serving me. So you want to identify what those belief systems are, crush them with content. That's what I was telling you guys, that you might not go viral with this kind of content, but you are going to get leads, you are going to get customers. And so all these videos are micro yeses that are happening in the minds of your customers. And they all don't arrive at the same time. Some are taking the bus, some are taking a jet. People just will arrive when they arrive. So you never sell because people don't like to be sold to, but they love to buy. All you have to do is to present your content in such a way that it makes them make a micro yes. So now, I hope this makes content creation easy, because now you're not creating for virality, you're not creating or getting disappointed that your video did not get 100 likes or 100 views or whatever it is, or you have a very low follower count. No, that doesn't matter. What matters is you created a very strategic piece of content that was doing something strategically. Again, so if this feels overwhelming, I have something for you. I am inviting 7 coaches next month. I'm yet to decide the day. I want to first collect. My goal is just 7 coaches. What we're going to do is I'm going to run through their offer, the whole system. We're going to plug any holes that we have. And then on that day, we are going to come and create content. We already have the scripts. Let me show you. We already have the script for the original story, so it'll be an interview. We'll do an interview, and then we're gonna walk through that whole process. Again, it's just questions and you answer them. It's very structured. Again, you'll have the documents after. If you're watching this video, you'll be able to apply some of these things. Then we'll work on your signature framework. Then hopefully you start collecting testimonials. The best thing that you can do right now is collect testimonials. And again, if you do not have, somebody get the results that needs what you have to offer. We'll create content on the objections and belief systems, because that is the most important thing. What is going to move somebody to take action? It's mindset. And the best content talks more about the brain than it talks about the mechanics of being able to do what you want to do. Because as I was telling you guys, the mechanics you can learn from YouTube. You can literally go and figure out how to build your own website. Literally. The content that I've taught you here, you can literally go on YouTube and find pieces of this content. So this is not going to help you, but it's the mindset. And if you've been tracking me, my whole point or my whole goal with this content is I want to make content more intentional for you. It might feel overwhelming right now, but that's not the goal. The goal is to simplify it so that you understand what you're doing. Because most of us get discouraged because we are posting aimlessly, or we have an offer and we're creating content for it, but it has no direction. You don't even know, because there are stages here. Let me share this as the parting shot. I want you to imagine this is a road. You have a shop here and you have your office here. Here's the lobby, here's outside. So you need 3 pieces of content, and most of this evergreen content does a specific thing in this that I'm going to show you. The original story lives here, because your story will resonate. Part of your story will resonate with different people. Part of your story, and that's why you need to keep sharing parts of your story or part of your clients' success stories and where they came from, so that somebody out there can self-identify. This is also where hooks are so important. And not just any hook, painful hooks that calls out a specific avatar that you're reaching out. So what happens is I'm driving, hey, somebody called me out. I come in. So this is the top of the funnel. This is the middle of the funnel. This is the bottom of the funnel. So this model has changed. You want a referral system that after this, that's where the testimonials come. And they announce to these guys who are passing here, hey, come in here. Because this office down here is going to solve your problem. This is where your offer lives. There's so much. I don't want to overwhelm you. But my goal is these 7 coaches that will come will have worked on heavy lifting on some of the stuff. And the day they come here will be a day where they will get brand assets. So we'll get pictures, and not just any pictures, because this will be going to their landing pages. They'll also be using this for their content. So it's very strategic. If you're teaching a quote or a hook, you're pointing to the sides, very intentional. You're looking both sides depending on how you'll be creating the content. So that, I don't even want to call it like a brand shoot. It's content, it's brand pictures that sell. Let's call it that. All right. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to record B-rolls. We're going to have a bunch of B-rolls because that's one of the formats that we're going to be using. Then the other one is we are going to create the 6 videos, and these are specifically that are handling objections that they have towards the offer that they will be creating. So here we'll get at least 10 B-rolls. So one with a laptop, walking past, on the phone. So any B-roll that kind of works well with the content that you're going to be creating, yeah? All right, so, and this is very staged. So that's why we need to talk before that day, so that we can be able to make sure that we create the scenes that complement that. All right, then we'll do those 6 videos, and then we'll do 6. So these are 6 videos, each handling an objection. Our goal is to 8 minutes. These live on YouTube, but you can cut them and post sections of them on Reels. All right, we'll do 6 beliefs that are not serving your ideal avatar. So again, you're handling that in content, at least minimum 8 minutes. We're also cutting some of those. We're creating the 8-minute script is designed in such a way that it can pull at least 2 reels from it, 2 to 3 reels that can stand on their own. All you have to do is add a hook at the front. So 6 videos, 6 beliefs, And then I think there's one more. Oh, the other one are testimonies. So again, if you have clients that you can do like a podcast, a testimonial, that would be amazing. We can do that. But the good thing with this waterfall content, I call it the content of waterfall content. This is not even the whole entire thing. I do this with podcasts, but the content waterfall, what happens is these 6 videos, the 8-minute video, this goes to YouTube. But the way it's been structured, it can give you 1, 2, 3 reels. From those reels, it can give you a carousel, it can give you a post. So by the end of this 8-minute video, which is very intentional because this 8-minute video is handling a very specific objection, or it's handling a very specific belief mindset that they have. And that's just phase 1, because now we have this thing called the content bucket. Once you've created enough content, because these are the first videos that you need to be creating. Then once you get to the content bucket, there's something called 3, 2, 1. We have 3 buckets. So this bucket is where you try different topics, different format, you're testing things. You're doing trial reels here. This one is for testing. Then these 2 buckets, you divide them into 2. You have content that is reaching more general, and then this is super niche. General, super niche. So in a week, you should have 5 pieces of content. So you can actually post every single day. But then what I was telling you guys is, if I post a reel, so here I have 2 pieces of content. If this is a reel, this reel can turn into a carousel and a post. So you can actually be able to post 3 posts a day from one topic. This is one topic, this is a second topic. So out of this, if this is a reel, always note that a reel can convert into a carousel and can convert into a post. That's how you end up having a lot of content. You end up staying visible. And the posts, you're putting your image in it. Sometimes you're putting the image of your avatar in it so that they can see themselves in the content that you're producing. That's about it. Hope you love this. Subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I really enjoy this style of creating content. I was trying to do a podcast, but I enjoy teaching in this format. I love teaching. Again, do not feel overwhelmed. I will have a document below here in the description. Just click on it. I'm going to send you everything that we talked about today. The frameworks, everything in a nice designed template that you can be able to follow along and use it to create content. So be a blessing. Share this video with someone else who's struggling to make content. And for the 7 coaches, I look forward to hearing from you. There will be a form, an interest form that will be on the description below.